Hey, I'm going to do a kind of rapid fire mini review today of a bunch of movies that I've watched recently that I haven't talked about. I don't know if I'm going to get the timeline right, but I'll start with the Poughkeepsie tapes, is a rewatch that I saw the first time in college. It is a faux documentary about a serial killer. It's pretty disturbing for me. It holds up. It's not something I would recommend to a ton of people. It's not something I watch for a good time, but it is a to me personally, I think it's a pretty well made, kind of effed up horror movie. What else? I don't know if I'm getting the timelines right again, but I did the Lion King remake with my mom in theaters, and then immediately afterwards went home. Well, not immediately afterwards, but went home and watched the original, the 1994 animated film. I'm always going to prefer that. I don't know if I'm ever going to watch the remake again. I don't think it's terrible. It's just not, personally, I don't feel like it needs to exist for me. The original holds up in a big way. It's my second favorite Disney animated film, The Beauty and the Beast. It's awesome. It still looks great. I rewatched Scooby Doo on Zombie Island in the wake of the announcement of the sequel. Again, still holds up. The music is still great. It still looks great. It's a fun movie. One of the first movies that ever really scared me. Um, and I'm still scared by movies today. But I remember being really, really freaked out by that movie as a kid. Love Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. Um, oh, there was another one I rewatched recently. What was it? Oh, well, earlier today I did All Souls Day, Dia de los Muertos, which I think was a made-for-TV movie that got an R-rated cut for a DVD, and it's really bad. It's a zombie movie set in Mexico. I just remember somebody saying "freaky deaky" in the movie and thinking that was funny when we watched it on TV. Watched the DVD I bought months ago. It sucks. It's horrible, but it's kind of fun how bad it is. And then I know there's one more. Oh, Child's Play. Child's Play. I'm glad I remember that because I thought I blind bought. I got to come up with a different expression because that's offensive. I bought a movie. I bought it sight unseen the other day at the exchange. What I bought was Child's Play, all Blu-rays, mind you. Child's Play, Fruitvale Station, um, uh, the Sixth Sense, upgraded to a Blu-ray there, and then If Beale Street Could Talk, which I will talk about in a second. But I had not seen. I've never seen any of the Chucky movies. Figured I'd start at the beginning, of course, just to give it a shot. Um, it's not my favorite horror movie I've ever seen, but it is fun. I like the puppetry. I liked Chris Sarandon. I liked Brad Dourif as the character and as Chucky, the voice. So I liked it enough to where I'm going to probably seek out some of the sequels. And then If Beale Street Could Talk, which was high on my watch list since it came out last year, and I didn't get to see it in theaters. I don't think it got too long of a run. And then I've just been kind of seeking out a Blu-ray to like rent at a Redbox or whatever, and I've only ever found DVDs. So I found a used Blu-ray at the exchange the other day, and I said, let's just do it. I just finished watching it. I read the James Baldwin novel last year when the movie was announced and when the trailer came out, because I thought the trailer looked incredible, and so I read the novel, and I was kind of surprised that the novel was not. There was not a ton of closure. There wasn't, it was just kind of like, here are things that happened, and then the end, and that's what the movie is as well. But it is done in such a way that really, I think it's the only way you could have adapted that novel and gotten away with it. I mean, it's a phenomenal movie. Personally, I think it's excellent. I think I probably like it more than Moonlight, even though Moonlight is amazing, and the first two acts of Moonlight are some incredible filmmaking and acting. Um, and the third, that's nothing against the third act of Moonlight. It was a little bit not as good, just not as good. But I do think Moonlight's phenomenal. In this movie, I think I like it just a little bit more probably having read the novel informed my enjoyment of this that much more, because it's very, very, I mean, it's almost page to screen, and there's some really nice artistic things added to it, just poetic ways of telling the story. All the cast is excellent. The music is beautiful. The setting is great. The costuming is great. It feels so lived in. It feels so of that time, and it's just a simple story. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. It's infuriating, but it's beautiful. At the end of the day. So that is a bunch of movies I just watched recently in less than 6 minutes. I just kind of got backlogged on making these videos. So there you go. Enjoy.